Hi, friends on the internet. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and welcome to another episode of Spooky Saturday, a just chatting installment where me and my friends share spooky stories and conversations on the internet. Whether you're with us live on Twitch, watching the VOD later here, or on YouTube, I'm super excited that you're here. Today we're hanging out with Blastub and Dan. How are you guys doing?
Hi, how's it going?
Hi.
That
Dan,
was
I
so.
clearly have more energy than you do.
Sorry, I don't know what to say.
You just say hi, my name is Dan or something.
All right. Hi, my name is Daniel. I'm Benjamin's little brother, and I'm taller than him.
You little shit.
The Dan in the van. Um, real
I just
quick,
wanted to get that out.
I appreciate it. Now I have that knowledge tucked away. Uh, real quick, yes, that theme song does slap. It was really great. Maffa and Bones, from the Den, they had done Tabby's intro music, and I was like, you know what, I should do that because I've been actively avoiding trying to do sound alerts by myself. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna commission this. It's gonna be great. And they nailed it right out the park, and I love it. Originally it was gonna be just for Spooky Saturdays. I'm debating if I should just do it for all of my streams because it really is a bop. It really is.
It really is. It's I listened to just a little bit of it, and then I got an echo coming through because then I was like, oh, maybe I should mute. But it was really enjoyable to listen to.
They do great work. They really do, and I know they've got. I
Mhm.
There's a link to their SoundCloud because they do a lot of music stuff. Music stuff. Hey, what's up?
I
My
love
name's
music.
Bunny, and I just today's my first day wording. Ha!
I don't know how to word. Don't worry, Dan doesn't either. It's
Words
great.
are hard.
Speak well enough, right, man?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I
you
mean,
know,
Dan, you're an actor. You'll be fine.
I
Yeah,
can
I'll be fine.
speak, I can shake, I can sit. Like there you go.
I can yiggle. I
Oh my god,
yiggle with it.
Ben is short.
Okay, it's coming from ink. That's.
That's funny.
Oh.
That made me giggle. Thank you for that. Oh my goodness. No, that's that's what we're here for. We're here for everyone just hyping everybody else, just having a great
Yeah.
time. Um
Actually, in the graphic, you can even see like my feet aren't even touching the floor, and Dan's. Excuse
that's
me.
so
Dan's
funny. I
Dan's are
just
touching the feet right
realized
there.
that. I
I
just
Benjamin,
just
I know how
realized
to
it.
sit better than you. I know how to sit better than you, talk better than you, and be taller than you,
Dan, you know what?
and have better
when
hair.
being taller is an
Okay.
active
Okay.
gift.
Okay, Dan. Let's be honest.
We're
Dad
s-
gave me the looks, and well, you didn't get the brains from Dad.
Oh
Got it
my
from
god.
Mom.
So I have 5 brothers. All
I
of
have
this just makes
brains.
full sense to me, and I love it. I'm here for it. Like this is real sibling love. Uh,
Wait, we're supposed to love each other?
Hold
Oh,
up, that
I'm
wasn't in the
Dan.
sure.
job description.
Oh, Dan,
Listen,
we've been
don't
screwing
worry
this up
about
this
it.
whole
As
time.
long as you
So
listen, if
wait,
you average it out over time, like you just like milestone it. Don't worry, you got this.
but
I
wait.
believe in
So
you.
that time I shouldn't have pushed Benjamin off that cliff that one time.
Is that why I fell?
But
I
did you
mean
die?
that. I mean it was the goat.
I was in the hospital for a week.
Yeah, the goat visited. He was very apologetic.
Stop.
Sure, Dan. Sure. I was in a coma.
Oh my! Wait, really? Oh,
It
No.
was
oh,
only 15 years, Benjamin.
just 15
This is
years. Like, what is that? But you know.
oh my gosh.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm so excited. So if you've never watched an episode of Spooky Saturday, Blastub actually was my very first guest. Um, he
All
was
those years ago.
all those. It was the beginning of this year. I
Before the
came up, yeah,
accidents.
before the before time. No, and basically I'd come up with the idea. I had sent people messages like, "Hey, I want to do this as a thing." And I'm thinking maybe like February, and Blastup's like January 15th. Let's go. And I'm like, all right, bet. So then, like 6 days later, we had Spooky Saturday. Like that's how
Now
fast
he's
it
being
happened.
replaced by a younger version.
No, we're not replacing. We're not
Well, okay.
replacing.
If we're being honest, there, Dan did get all my stories for the last time.
He did.
Like,
He was the Dan in the van.
He was the Dan in the van, and he had a plan. It was great. I am not replaceable, hun.
Damn.
Ow.
Hey. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
The
You know
hostility.
what, Dan, just take over for me. You'll do better than I can.
Alright, so can I have all your money then?
Oh my
No.
Stop! Stop it! Okay. Whew, we're good. We're doing good. Ink, I love you.
All right, buddy,
love
we
you.
hijacked this. I'm sorry.
Woo! Alright, so I also just real quick, because your sister actually drew that graphic, and
Yes.
when I had to put it in there, it cropped out her signature, but I do want to give her props because it looks amazing.
Yes, I am so proud of the job that she did with this. She's not watching right now, but she will probably watch the pod. Yeah, she did an absolutely fantastic job with this, with a day turnaround, which is amazing.
Let me take over the stream. I'm funnier than Ben. Why is everybody
Hold
coming for Blastub Dan?
Nobody likes me.
You see, whenever I join the thing and I start insulting him, it kind of starts like a trend to keep insulting him.
This is a slippery slope we've approached. Woo. Well, before we get into the spookiness of it, I know obviously, Blastub, you are a content creator here on Twitch,
Yes,
and Dan
I am.
is just dope as fuck.
Yep.
I just
Dan
heard
shows
a
up
noise.
on my Twitch channel sometimes, so.
Thank you for following, Tommy. What's the?
Tommy.
Wait, Tommy? Is this the Tommy?
Is this
your
Tommy?
Is this your stepson, Ink? I'm sorry.
Oh. yeah, it is.
I was there. I had seen it. Oh. We love it.
Wait, Ink has a stepson?
No, it's
Dan, it's
don't
a
worry
reference.
About it. Don't worry about it.
Oh.
Don't worry about it.
I thought you were
Dan,
being serious.
cover
for a
your
second.
young ears.
I'm not that young.
He's just a child. No,
Oh crap! Actually, you aren't that young anymore. Damn.
I'm like a few months from turning 17, Benjamin.
They grow up so fast.
They grow up so fast.
And I'm better at managing money than you.
Oh my goodness, it's already begun. It's just
I'll be
sibling.
right back.
The sibling love is so palpable. I love it. No, but so Dan is just busy being awesome, and you do Twitch stuff all the time. Did you have a YouTube? Did you say that? Did I hallucinate that?
Me?
No, Blastub.
I do have a YouTube channel. So I have a YouTube channel, a Twitch channel, a website. That is, actually, I think I had the website the last time I was on, and it still was, and it wasn't finished. It's still not finished.
Hey,
A bunch
listen.
of merch that's still sitting in his basement.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes it do be like that. I hear you. I feel you. Yes, Tommy. I think your dad's more famous, but we love you, and I'm very happy that you're here. Thank you for the follow. I'm not trying to drag you. See what you started, Dan? Like, just me trying to drag everybody. Oh my goodness. I gotta calm down. Okay. Well, I'm very excited this is happening. This is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm
Don't
excited
cry.
too. This is
Don't
great.
But yeah, so Spooky Saturdays, we do it like, just like a coffee chat. We're gonna swap spooky stories back and forth, live react. And then towards the end, we're gonna talk about really cool stuff that you guys got going on. When I'm around, everything turns aggressive. It's okay,
true.
baby.
Well,
It's
I
okay.
mean, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, listen, I'm full on feral, so it's perfectly fine. It's
Oh
acceptable.
gosh.
Shh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's okay. This is gonna be a fantastic stream. I can already tell. We're already doing a great job. Good job. Okay. So
Guten Tag.
actually this time, I hate to spoil it for everybody, but I prepped my own stories. I didn't have Zombie do it, so I can attest 100% full fact this is not the script to the B movie.
Oh my god.
What?
Yes, I am still doing that bit almost every week. Still doing it. Because one of these days he is gonna bamboozle me. I will be bamboozled. I'm fairly certain of it. I'm proud of it. I'm beautiful. This is everybody's so. I'm so happy, people. I'm so happy we're all here having a spooky time.
It's
Uh,
gonna be a great time.
we're just gonna, let's just dive in. Let's just
Yeah.
dive in. Who wants to go first? Because I can go first, or you can go first.
So, like I said, Dan got all of my stories last time around, so he actually is going to have the best stories.
This is
So
true.
I think Dan should go first.
Dan,
I
you've
don't
been
even
voluntold.
remember getting you stories. To
You
be
don't?
honest, I don't remember getting you stories. I don't remember you ever asking me for stories. I don't remember any of that.
It happened. I was
I
there. I
have.
seen it. It's on the internet. It's on YouTube. Like it
Oh, it
legitimately
is on
happened.
YouTube. Oh, perfect.
I'll have to watch it later because I honestly do not remember you asking me to do any of
Honestly,
that.
I'm also choking on something, so Dan, go first, please.
All right. From the best part of the first website I clicked on.
Beautiful.
This story is called Peggy's Cove, The Lady in Blue from Great Canadian Ghost Stories. With its iconic lighthouse, Nova Scotia's picture Peggy's Cove is one of the Canada's most recognizable locations, less than 50 kilometers away from Halifax. The quaint fishing village draws tourists from all over the world. A few of those visitors see more than the natural beauty, they also see supernatural image, the Lady in Blue. The wraith walks forlornly along the shoreline, the hem of her blue flock fluttering about her legs as the sea breeze blows around her. She looks down at the waves and then lifts her head and scans the vast expanse of the water, as though searching for someone or something. She's a heartbreaking image, her sorrows so deep that it permeates the air around her. Anyone who sees the Lady in Blue feels her sadness. Legend tells us she's a ghost of a woman named Margaret who lived in the area back in the 1700s. Some say that the cove and the village are named after her. The name Peggy being a diminutive of Margaret. The young mother was the sole survivor of a shipwreck. She later died in the area, apparently of a broken heart. Her
Aw.
soul, though, has never stopped looking for her children, who were lost when the ship were on the wrecked against a rock. Occasionally, the Lady in Blue appears aware of the living and actually tries to speak to the tourists who come to admire the view. Any who have this experience say that they haven't been able to understand what she was trying to say, and it seems as though a grieving mother's words were swept away by the gusts of the wind. The people who've shared such an encounter all say that she seems to be reaching out across time, imploring them to help her. Then the image in the blue dress slowly begins to fade away, leaving witnesses with only a beautiful scenery to look at.
Nice.
Real talk though, Nova Scotia is super beautiful.
It
I know,
really is.
I've
it
got
is.
family there, and it's. I've never heard about Peggy though.
Mhm.
She just
Dan, you just
she's
went
a
to Nova
tour.
Scotia, didn't you?
Yeah, I went there, and it wasn't like near where this story takes place. I checked, but
Mm.
yeah, I went to Nova Scotia once, and yeah, it was a nice time. Yeah, I was like there on a missions trip,
That's awesome.
Nice.
and there was actually a crazy story. Apparently, at one point they went to like a beach area, and apparently there were a bunch of seals without heads.
Um,
Wait,
what?
are you saying like from your trip, or from like the
No,
Lady
no,
in
no, like
Blue?
no, I'm saying that one of the people there on the trip told us about like how one time they went to a beach and there was a bunch of seals without heads.
In Nova Scotia?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just fuck those seals in particular. Um.
Yeah, literally.
Damn. I was like, wait, so you saw this, or like, is this a part of the story? I was like, hold on. I got
Hold on, if
bamboozled last week pretty hard, so I was
The
waiting
best
I
for it.
part
saw
is you
this.
saying it so tame.
If I saw this, I would have taken pictures already.
That's true. But what,
Pic-
like, I feel like your phone wouldn't work in that moment, though.
Why wouldn't it work?
I
Because
don't know,
okay, I
spooky,
actually
scary shit.
so here's no, this is a legitimate thing with paranormal stuff.
Oh,
This is a legitimate thing. So, a lot of paranormal researchers, experts, I know how to word. Um, it's like the whole concept that like the metaphysical magic cryptids, they have like an innate ability to protect themselves from discovery. Um, and part of that is like modern technology just like fucks up when you like if you try to take a picture of something, it's the picture will either like completely wash out or like your camera will break or like oh man the batteries in my like ghost equipment broke because ghost stole batteries. Yes, I will hydrate.
spooky.
Do you have coffee? Has coffee happened yet? I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but also I have water, which I
I need to
understand is
hydrate again,
not
too.
is not coffee, but my
I have hydrated.
my hydrate thing actually says bunny coffee is not water.
Wait, do I
So
have to hydrate too?
Oh, yeah, Dan.
we're all gonna
Alright.
We
hydrate.
all have to do
We're
it.
hydrating as a team. This is a
Too late,
team
I'm doing it.
effort, group effort. And I'm getting it now. You're beautiful. Mwah. So yeah,
Awesome.
she's just like super bummed out. That's such a terrible way of saying that. So she's still lingering on the beaches there from where the shipwreck happened.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
for all eternity. And she can't,
Damn.
like, pass on because, like, her children, she's looking for her children, but her children are probably dead and
They,
gone too, and
well, yeah, I mean, at this
yeah.
point, they definitely are. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because of how time works. And I
Yeah.
totally recognize that how time works today. I'm in rare form. That's shitty.
Yeah.
So she can talk to tourists too. Like,
Yeah, but, like,
Oh,
when she tries to, like, they they can't understand her.
so it
oh,
comes out like a jarbled mess, like
It
Bill
says,
Cipher kind of jarbled mess, kind of thing.
actually, it says, it seems as though the grieving mother's words were swept away by the gust of wind.
oh, so like it's like when you
So,
don't
like,
have audio, but you can see someone's mouth moving, and you
I
know
think
that
it's
it's
like,
happening.
I think maybe it's like you can hear her speaking, but like you can hear the words going away quickly with the wind, like it's being
So
blown
like you
away.
can't really make out the words, kind of thing. So you're hearing you're hearing what sounds like it should be words, I think, and it's just it sounds distant as if it's been taken by the wind.
Yeah.
So she would not make a good she would not make a good tour guide then. She could point out stuff appropriately.
Or a good guest because she wouldn't be able to tell stories.
Hmm.
I do feel bummed though. I'm sad now for her. But
Yeah.
at least she's in an idyllic spot. Like it's pretty there.
Yeah, it is pretty.
You know, we're looking at the silver
just gets to
lining.
she gets to constantly explore that area.
Again and again and again.
And again, until she like knows every nook and cranny.
That's what I was saying. She would make the perfect tour guide.
Yeah.
Because then she'd be like, actually, 100 years ago, this beach was a little farther out because of water,
Climate change.
climate change, the real scary
One of those.
story.
Listen, folks,
Well,
ghost
if you
stories
want
are
a
really
scary
scary.
story.
Capitalism.
Listen,
Actually,
folks.
no. No, I was gonna talk about. No, I'm not gonna go there. Actually, I have a story that's a little bit closer to home for me and Dan, in our home province of Ontario.
All right, let's
All
hear
right.
it. I'm ready.
Throughout the year, in fair weather or foul, Kingston tourists are led along shadowy streets and through dark alleys, soaking up every gruesome detail that's shared during one of the country's oldest haunted walks. The tour guides, clad in black robes and carrying a burning lamp, love to chill their groups to the bone with the terrifying true stories. But although it's the job of the guides to get under the group's skin, one ghost is simply too evil, too malicious to mention. The ghost that is of George Hewell. Hewell. I lost it right there. I was creepy up until that point.
Like, you were doing so good. You had such a good creepy vibe going. You can reclaim it. I believe in you.
Yeah. The ghost is that of George Hewell, a Kingston penitentiary inmate who was shot to death by the chief keeper in 1897. Hewell was, by all accounts, a particularly bad seed in a jail filled with the worst criminals our country has ever known. He was so bad, in fact, that not even death could stop him from tormenting the guards and his fellow inmates. Before it closed in 2013, Kingston Pen was the most infamous prison in Canada. It was home to such notorious criminals such as Clifford Olson, Paul Bernardo, and Russell Williams. Opened in 1835, Kingston Pen predates Confederation and has been designated a National Historic Site. After 178 years, it was deemed to be in a run-down state and too costly to continue operating. The inmates were moved to other jails, but the stories of the terrible things that took place within its imposing limestone walls live on. In the early days, one form of punishment was to tie a prisoner to a post to be flogged up 40 times with a cat o' nine tails. A
Jesus.
nasty whip designed to
Sorry.
inflict as much pain and damage on someone's back as possible. It's no worries. Others were disciplined by being branded with a hot iron that burned the flesh, forever marking them as criminals.
Wait, this was a hold up. I'm gonna rewind. Let's roll it back. Okay.
Yeah.
So, baby, that's illegal. I'm pretty sure that's legal. You can't just be
So-
branding people.
So I
Like,
have a feeling that
the-
this
the
was
cat o'
before
nine
like
tails,
2000s.
Okay, well, yeah, but I mean, the cat o' nine tails, like, okay, I'm not gonna kink shame anyone, but like, the branding
Hold
bit,
up.
that's where it got weird for me.
Yeah. So keep in mind, this is talking about the early days. So this was before there was any kind of laws against this.
This was
kind of crime.
1800s. 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
They still hunted witches back then.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's-
it's arguably they probably still do that today, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it do be like that. Damn, branding. Whew.
It's insane.
Hey, Shadow.
Insane. Hello, Lord Shadow. Yeah. It's. I would not want to be in that prison. I would
No.
not want to be in that prison. Now this next bit gets me. So others were disciplined by being branded with a hot iron that burned the flesh, forever marking them as criminals. And there was no shortage of hangings on the premises. Back then, an illegal act as mild as stealing a cow or foraging a receipt was punishable by death. So in theory, the speeding ticket that I just got, punishable by death.
You could have been branded for that.
I
And
I
that'll
could've
learn
been
ya.
flogged. Buddy, I could have been flogged.
I'm so happy you weren't.
So am I.
Oof.
You got a speeding
Much of
ticket
this
on the way here?
Sorry, Dan?
You got a speeding ticket on the way here?
No, it was on my way to New York the other day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright, continue.
Much of this barbaric behavior was carried out by the first two wardens, father and son Henry and Frank Smith. Henry designated what he called the box, a wooden coffin that forced inmates to stand upright with no space to move a muscle. Prisoners were left in the box for nearly 10 hours and were poked and jabbed by guards through the air holes. Frank allegedly enjoyed shooting at prisoners with a bow and arrow, sticking them with pins and needles as if they were human pincushions, and forcibly pouring salt into their mouths.
So he was an evil guy.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
that's
It's no wonder so much got past them, or so much what happened in this, like the branding, like the flogging. It's just crazy.
I mean, I have literal goosebumps because I'm. Whew, okay, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Although the treatment of prisoners improved over the years, the dark energy created by so much hate and suffering has remained. forever soaked into the stone walls. Some have said entering Kingston Pen is akin to being forced into the tombs of hell. It is the ghost of George Hewell. People sense upon walking into. Is it the. I'm sorry. Is it the ghost of George Hewell people sense upon walking into the prison? His vengeful spirit has been spotted before. A front page article titled "Did They See a Ghost?" in the Kingston Daily News on February 13th, 1897 described an eerie encounter with Hewell, who had been dead a year by that time. With moonlight reflecting brightly off freshly fallen snow, two guards on night watch. Sorry. Two guards on night duty rounded a corner in the outside courtyard and saw a man in convict's clothing step through the hospital door. The man, described as a nocturnal visitor who had a strange form, silently crossed the courtyard without paying the guards any attention. They ordered him to identify himself and explain what he was doing about so late, but the man turned and walked back to the hospital door without a word. The guards leveled their rifles to shoot and gave him one last warning. The man turned to face them, touched the hospital door, and suddenly disappeared before the guards' disbelieving eyes. They later admitted they had immediately recognized the shadowy figure as George Howell. A late night search of the prison failed to resolve the mystery. And that's where the story ends. Um,
Gonna be real
Kind
with
of
you.
creepy, not gonna lie.
10 out of 10 agree with his decision to haunt the shit out of that place.
Yeah,
Um,
honestly,
like
if I were treated
vengeful,
like that,
absolutely. It was a year later. No, for sure. Find that dude and his son. Get him. I believe in you. Bring that energy. But
What
also,
was
mhm.
what was his crime?
What was his crime? I don't remember if it said that. I know he was shot to death for sure. He was apparently like a ruthless criminal. Like he was one of their worst criminals there. Um,
what wasn't his
yeah,
crime?
yeah. What wasn't his crime? I imagine there was plenty of it. It doesn't actually say what his crime was, but I'm sure if we looked up
Jaywalking.
George Howell,
Oh,
jaywalking.
Facts. Hold on.
Oh my
I
gosh.
gotta look it up now. I have to.
I'm doing a Google as well.
We're gonna. We're do a great job. Oh my goodness. Internet, don't fail me now. Jaywalkers are the worst. If you're gonna cross the street where you shouldn't, you need to run. Knees to chest. That is real. That's real. That's so. I always like. I try to like. If I have to cross the street in a sketch place, I try to run. Uh, but I also just try to avoid also not using crosswalks. I've been hit by cars before, so like I have to be mindful because it'll get you every time.
Mhm.
George,
like you've been in a car crash or like you've been hit physically by a car?
yes to both.
What does that
I
feel like?
So the first time I got hit, I was on the side of a road, and it wasn't at full on hit. It was the jutted out mirror. You know those trucks with like the metal mirrors off to the side, like they jut
Uh
out on a
huh.
pipe and they're off to the side. One of
Yeah.
those
mhm.
clipped me in the shoulder, and it threw me like 6 feet. And when I opened my eyes, my face was like 2 or 3 inches from a buzzing electric fence.
Oh my.
That sucked. And then the other
Yeah.
time I got hit, I was legitimately just like full on struck by a vehicle, and it hurt my back, but at first I didn't feel pain. I just went down, and I wasn't like, "Oh my god, I've been hit by a car." I was like, "Why am I on the floor? What happened?" And I look, and they stopped. They like looked out their car, and then they proceeded on with their lives. And I was like, "Okay, cool. Thanks. Good looking out, buddy." Like, so there's that. And then car accidents, car accidents, they happen. You should always wear your seatbelt.
Mhm. Apparently, there's another story about the Kingston Penitentiary. Uh, it's a story of an inmate named Ty Khan, the not so great escape mastermind. So it's more of a humorous story, and I don't actually have it up. But in looking for what George Howell actually did, like this is what I found.
So there's nothing about George Howell.
Not from what I can tell. There's also a haunted walk in Kingston, apparently. So that's pretty creepy.
How far is
Um,
Kingston?
I don't think it's terribly far, Dan. We can look into it later.
Yeah. No need to tell us where you guys live right this moment.
I mean, I've been pretty open that we live in Niagara Falls, but
Yeah. So you're literally just a hop, skip, and a jump.
yeah. Let's see.
Notable. I'm trying to find this dude. If I
Yeah, I
cannot
can't
find
find it.
him.
Okay, so Dan, it's on the way to Ottawa, so it's not a terrible thing. It would just have to be a longer trip for sure. If you wanted to go, we can go.
I did something. It's like 3 hours and 54 minutes.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, that's absolutely nothing.
Like next week, I'll be driving 2.5 hours to look fly in my mother's kitchen. So
Nice.
I've
I'm gonna be
driven
driving 5.5.
I've driven
So
like
that's gonna be great.
I've driven like for 3 days before. So we're going
Three
Because this
days.
dude drove to Nova Scotia.
well, I mean, hey, I get it. It's it's iconic. Living in the falls must get so stoked when you go outside. I mean, I've been to the actual falls on both sides several times in my life.
What's
The
the
Canadian
American
side is
side
definitely
like?
better.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. Oh, for sure,
But what's
dude.
the American
For
side
sure.
like?
I forgot what I was saying because I'm
I
cute.
think you were about to diss Niagara Falls, but that makes sense.
Niagara Falls, yeah. No, it's so funny when people get like very pumped about it. To me, at least, because it's literally like I grew up in Vermont, but I have family
Oh,
in New
yeah.
York, so like, oh my God, the Canadian border's right there. And it's like, yeah, dude. There's a place in like Newport you could literally step over the line, like just step over it.
Mhm.
What you gonna do? Nothing. But yeah, no. I agree with you though. The Canadian side of the falls is much prettier, and a 4-hour drive to go on a spooky road trip. I also endorse fully. Live your best life. Do it.
Mhm. Dan, your birthday's coming up, so
Is it Derby? I can never remember. I know Enosburg is one of the spots too. Oh yeah. There is that building. That it's like right down. I love things like that. Like when there's buildings and stuff on like borders to places. Like there's a town close to where we live where it borders the both states have the same name for the town, and it's Bristol, Tennessee, and Bristol, Virginia. And halfway through the town, there's literally a line. It's like when you have to share a room with your sibling, and then you get mad at them, so you tape down the middle of the room, and you're like, "Your stuff lives there." Only it's with states, and it's really cute. Not good if you're speeding though, because there are different
Hmm.
rules involved. They wouldn't flog you for it, but state of Virginia does.
maybe I want to get flogged.
Hey, I'm not here to king shame. Do you? Um, it's
Oh, right, Dan's here.
Dan will handle that for me later. Don't worry. Like,
Sir?
no, I
Okay.
fully believe he's just gonna drag you. He's gonna just we're at the beginning we were doing a funny bit. It was funny. No. Oh wait, that may have been misconstrued. Hold up. Let me retract that. I'm not saying that Dan will flog you later. That's not what I'm saying. To be clear, that's not what I'm saying. Because that's a whole bunch of weird stuff I'm uncomfortable now. Okay,
Right. Next story.
Hey, Dan, thank you for following. At that point, he chooses, you know what? I think I'm gonna follow. I appreciate you wholeheartedly. All right, I'm good. Focus. So I'm just gonna step over. I didn't actually get like story like I did what I did the first time. I went on No Sleep, which is a subreddit where the premise is that these are creepy stories, but when you read them, you're supposed to anticipate that they're true. You're supposed to like go with the expectation that
Oh,
they're true.
hold up. There's more to my story.
There is? I thought you were done.
Yeah. I thought I was done too. Turns out there's a second page.
Damn it, Benjamin!
We'll never
You
read.
had one job. This
I'm
is
so
you
sorry.
need to read more books so then you learn how to do this stuff.
Reading is hard, but also now I need to know what's on page 2.
Okay. Before his death, Howell had been serving a life sentence in Kingston Pen. He had a reputation for attacking anyone within his reach, including guards and fellow inmates. There were at least 4 recorded incidents in which he tried to kill other convicts, and his murderous instincts could be set off for the most insignificant reasons. He once tried to kill a man for borrowing his library book,
What book was it?
ready to explode at any moment. Probably like, I don't know, Boku no Piku. The story surrounding Howell's death is both gruesome and riveting. Early one morning, he tried to throw another convict over a 3-story balcony to his death. As punishment, he was confined in isolation cell for some time, then forced to work for the rest of the day in the tailor shop. This was a mistake, as it gave Howell angered and irrational access to a pair of sharp tailor's
Yeah,
shears.
that's where they
Okay,
messed up.
hold up.
They somebody didn't
You've
really
got
think that
someone-
through.
You really didn't think that one through. You've got someone who's got murderous intent, has literally just tried to kill someone over the tiniest jack. And you decide to give him tailor shears?
They're just like, all right, boss, where should we put this guy? I don't know. Where's somewhere safe we can put him? How about with all the sharp objects? Oh yeah, sounds good.
Dan, they're Canadians. You're gonna make it sound like a Canadian.
Oh.
Oh,
Sorry.
hey, boss, where should we put this guy?
Ooh,
Oh
I
man,
don't-
just throw him over. Put him over in the tannery. We got some stuff we gotta fill out. We need to get
Oh,
this
heck
stuff
yeah,
done.
bud. I got him
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah,
Hey,
for
you watched
sure.
the hockey game this weekend?
Oh yeah, it was a really good match, eh?
Yeah, the Canucks really torched through the Maple Leafs.
Those
Can't-
poor
I-
Maple Leafs, they're never gonna win.
No,
Hey,
more
listen.
more like to make me laugh, eh?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. I have feelings about the Maple Leafs personally, but it's fine. We're gonna digress. So, do you think that's what
there's
he was
more
gonna
here.
throw him over for?
Probably. With the oh, there's more to the shears.
Oh!
With the shears concealed on his body, Howell swore and caused a commotion from within his cell through the rest of the evening. After listening to the racket for as long as they could, the guards entered the cell to move Howell to another location where he could be further punished. Howell seized his opportunity and attacked the guards with the shears. Unfortunately for the guards, he wasn't able to seriously injure anyone before the warden pulled his pistol's trigger and lodged a bullet in Howell's head.
Oh,
my
so that's
gosh,
when it
you guys.
happened. The sheer audacity.
That's when he
there another-
died.
Is there another page, Benjamin?
Oh no, it still keeps going. Normally, a bullet to the head would be enough to kill any man, but Howell was no regular man. For 5 full hours, Howell continued to swear and threaten the guards before finally succumbing to the head wound. With his final breath, Howell leveled a curse at the Kingston Pen. He promised to return from beyond the grave to make everyone pay for killing him, even those who played no part in his death. Dying wouldn't stop him from having his revenge. Many eerie occurrences since the guards' moonlit patrol have been attributed to the vengeful spirit of Howell, a man who was never at peace. When he first arrived at Kingston Pen and passed through the front gate of the Tombs of Hell, Howell knew he was serving a life sentence. But he couldn't have known he'd also be serving an afterlife sentence.
Damn, that's a good line.
That's the ending.
That's a good line.
You know, maybe we
I think.
shouldn't.
Is there another
Maybe we shouldn't go to the tour. I don't
No,
wanna be
Dan, you
haunted
already
by that
committed
guy.
to it. You have to now.
Yeah,
Well,
Dan, you
if I-
committed.
Well, if you find my body with a bunch of knives in it, then you'll know what happened.
I mean, are you really gonna piss off Howell?
Yeah,
I will
don't be the.
probably say
Don't be.
something. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. There's always one. There's always one.
There's always one. Oh my gosh.
I'll probably be like, you don't scare me.
You don't scare me. Okay, I'm
You
scared
don't
now.
scare me.
Oh my goodness.
Did you
So-
just see the sheer audacity?
That just my brother Tigress is amazing. She's beautiful. He and Goose can go together. Yo, that's a vibe. That's some straight. That's exactly how that would go. Oh my goodness, no. So I was totally on this guy's side on page 1. I was like, yes, get it.
Mm-hmm.
We love to see it. Make them pay. But it turns out he was just like a dick in the whole time. Like, it wasn't like he was a
Yep.
dude who was misfortunately branded or anything. He just like walked in and chose violence every step he could. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe I feel like he might have been wrong. A lot of the
Yeah, just
time.
maybe.
Also, I still can't the sheer audacity of it. Like
The sheer
just the
the
just the
shears were a bad idea.
like
Yeah,
how
like
long was his solitary for when they thought I'm sure nothing bad will ever happen now that we've had like it's like do they have him put in for like 24 hours? Was
It's
it several
basically
weeks?
like, oh yeah, he's had a timeout, eh? We're gonna give him in the tailors.
Yeah.
Nothing bad can happen in there. What is he doing? Sewing together some clothes?
hey, look at this note I found. I'm gonna kill each and every one of you, eh? That's probably
Oh, I
fine.
don't believe it. He can't do
No, I
that.
can't that can't happen. No.
Exactly.
It's
He
illegal,
probably
Kelly.
just.
It's illegal.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I don't know why
It's
this would ever
okay.
be
I'm
in the
sorry
trail.
too.
Oh, sorry, eh?
We're just gonna. I
Sorry.
have to send you this meme.
Sorry.
Gonna just put this. Just gonna send you this meme because I pulled it up the other day and it made me haha. And I'm just gonna put it over here so you guys can see it. Uh,
Oh yeah, these scissors are for fabric only. No
no
chance he's
one,
using it on anyone
no
else.
one would no one would ruin a good, a good set, a good, a good set of no, but that actually honestly that should be a crime. If you take a good pair of like cloth shears or like shears that are used for like tailor stuff and use it to cut other things, you're a fucking monster. Like that is a I will give zero follow-up questions. That's just awful.
So this
Those
might not be what
scissors
you want to
are
hear.
for fabric only. Exactly. Exactly. Sorry for apologizing. Sorry for apologizing about apologizing. It will happen again. Like it will happen again. That's
One of my
Mm.
friends actually used to apologize a lot to me. Like whenever he like did something wrong, and then I punished him, he would always apologize like
Dan?
what?
Dan, hold up. You punished him?
What? I didn't say that.
Huh?
I'm
Let's
pretty
continue with
sure.
the stories.
Chad, did you hear that? Because if you did, please let me
Mm,
know.
kinda sus. Not gonna lie.
Why did you emphasize punish like that? That's phenomenal. Stop.
I
This
mean,
is my little brother, everyone.
he
It's
would
just a
still
goon.
be alive after.
Yeah, just a light touch of punishment. Okay. All right.
Anyway, next
So
story.
now we know about the sheer audacity. It's just beautiful. All right. Stop. Stop. I gotta not look at chat for a minute because I'm just gonna lose my shit. So yeah, this is a story I found on No Sleep, which is a subreddit. The whole premise is that people write stories, they share stories, and you're supposed to suspend your disbelief that these are real stories. 9 times out of 10, you're like, there's no way that's a real story. Like, or it's like very clear, like, this is not a story, this is prose. But who knows? You don't know. It's the internet. Who would lie on the internet, guys?
Yeah, the internet is
Many
full of
people.
honest people.
Honest folk live on the internet. Case confirmed, it's real. Uh, no, so this is one I saw. It's from 7 months ago. I saved it. I had been saving it. I do a thing wherever I find a really good one, I save it. So that way, when the opportune moment strikes, I can just bust it out. It's also a good read. And the title is I've just seen my family's abandoned old farm being explored by someone on TikTok. He should not have gone there.
Pretty lengthy title. Might want to shorten it down a
I
little bit.
didn't write. Hey, I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy who wrote this. I'm the guy or who shared it on the subreddit. I'm the bear detective reading it. You know.
And I'm like suggesting to them if they're
No,
just
for
having
sure.
something
That's a
to say.
mouthful. It for sure. Like, could have just like bulletin pointed like TikTok live goes oof. Farmhouse bad. Like, easy.
Yeah,
Easy peasy, easy breezy, beautiful, uh, vengeful wraith. There you go.
yeah, I would immediately click that if I like saw
See,
that.
exactly. Buzzwords. Buzzwords are important. Oh god, I'm not gonna click that. I'm not gonna click
I'm
I'm not clicking the clip right now. Guys, I have to like mentally prepare myself to be spooked.
We've only gotten through like 3 stories. We're an hour in.
I told you guys, like, it goes so fast. It goes so
Oh
fast.
man, Dan, I told you to prep like 5 stories.
This is,
yeah,
you,
I was
hey,
like working all night.
Same.
see, this is why, it's okay. Now you'll have them for next time. If we don't get all
Mm.
through all of them. Which we probably may, who knows, we might do it. But yeah, here it goes. It's late. I'm doing my usual sitting in bed, long past the time I need to be asleep, scrolling mindlessly through TikTok. It's a bad habit. I know. This is actually a mood, by the way, because I do this on occasion for several hours, and I'm like, oopsie doodle. Yes, I will hydrate, thank you. But I'm drinking coffee this time because I'm allowed to.
Oh, I don't think so.
It took 2 Saturdays for the Phasma discussion. It really did. It did take 2 Saturdays. It's a bad habit, I know. But you're here reading this on Reddit, right? Which is what I'm doing. I lazily flick the last video away, a cat wearing a helmet fashioned out of a melon, and a live feed takes its place. It's dark, with torches or headlamps making almost a strobing effect in some crusty old building. Ghost hunters or something like that. It's not my thing. I raise my finger to scroll again, but at the last second, something catches my eye that stops me dead. The camera pans past a black and white framed photograph on the wall. It's my grandparents on their wedding day. I sit stock still, watching intently as the camera moves forward. I would recognize that photo anywhere, having examined it countless times as a child visiting their farmhouse. It was my favorite picture out of any hanging on their walls. This TikToker couldn't be in my grandparents' old farm, surely. I mean, it was true it had left into disrepair after their passing. I look at their handle, Abandoned Explorer 305. I make a mental note to click on their page and see where else they've been, but for now I cannot bring myself to look away from this feed in case it disappears forever. They move further into the living room, a leather armchair, well worn in its day, but now the cushions were sunken in and the fabric torn beyond repair. The fireplace, exposed stone, an enormous oak mantel, once the impressive focal point of the room, now warped and cracked. The lucky horseshoes that hung from it littered the hearth, dull and lifeless. They had always been a pride of place over the fire. I think they meant they had always been in a place of pride. They did it. I can't really fault them. I do that as well, even when I'm talking. Uh, Dull and lifeless. They had been a pride of place over the fire, polished and would glint in the firelight in the evening. The person holding the camera is speaking. I'd hardly noticed as I was so wrapped in the cloud of nostalgia and outrage at this space being invaded. There's so many horseshoes around here, he was saying. They're over the door threshold, there was one laid into the kitchen floor, and these ones look like they used to hang over the fireplace. Now I know this is a farm and they probably did have horses, but they are just everywhere. Now everyone knows horseshoes are known as a good luck charm, but unless you're into folklore, you might not know that they also ward off evil spirits. I will interject in this story. The reason that whole like they ward off evil spirits is because they're made of iron, and iron is a warding thing to keep Fae out. For anyone's knowledge, if they were wondering, that's where that came from.
I just realized I've been muted. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Continue.
oh, oh no! Did we miss anything good?
No.
Oh, you're. I do
It was
that all
just
the time.
agreement to the agreement to the last point, and then I just said something generic, and then I was like, oh, I got glossed over. Yeah, I just realized what I
Like,
meant
why
to
is Bunny
say.
ignoring me? Rude.
It's fine. It's fine.
It happens all the time. No, I wouldn't. I roll my eyes, common knowledge. Another TikToker claiming to be an expert on the paranormal. His observation does set off a small prickle in the back of my neck, though. There were a lot of horseshoes at the farm. I tucked that bit of knowledge away for a future reference. Many years ago, they had horses, but since the advent of motor tractors and farming methods, they were not needed, and neither Granny nor Grandpa had any great love for horses that I was aware of. Granny had always been a tad superstitious, though. Horseshoes, lucky heather, four leaf clovers, that sort of thing. For the most part, I loved going to stay at Granny and Grandpa's when I was small. Apart from going to the bathroom alone, the only bathroom was upstairs at the furthest end of the house from the kitchen or the living room. To a kid, it felt like an epic journey. Going up wasn't so bad. Once the door from the living room was shut, you could find yourself in a cool, quiet passageway, all the sounds of life muffled by the thick wood. The air was so still you could hear a pin drop. You'd walk along, then turn back 180 degrees to go back up the stairs. The upstairs landing was split into two levels, so you'd step down onto the back landing and then take a right to get to the bathroom. It was going back down that was the problem. Since I was old enough to go to the bathroom unaccompanied, once I turned that corner and got to the top of the stairs, the feeling would hit, like an icy finger in the small of your back. Run. I would run down the stairs and back to the kitchen as quickly as my little legs could carry me. More than that, it was imperative that at no point did I turn and look back up at the landing. Bad things would happen if I looked back. That's a mood, though, as a kid,
Mm,
with stairs, like, you know what I'm talking about, like the stairs that don't have the backing behind it. Like, you turn off the light, and you're like, I gotta run before I get caught.
yeah, absolutely.
It makes you think, what were you running from? Maybe there was always something there, just only your child self notices it.
That is also gonna go on a
Dan?
tangent. That's some real. No, this is actually. Dan just stumbled into a very valid point.
He opened Pandora's box
Look,
here.
now you've derailed this train, so we're gonna have to cross that bridge. So, a lot of paranormal people, what have you, they have the whole idea that like children can sense like spirit. They can sense the stuff that our adult minds has like trained itself out of. Because as you're growing up, everybody had not everybody, but like most kids have imaginary friends. And the whole thing is that like some kids' imaginary friends may not actually be imaginary friends. They may be spirit.
Those were all of Dan's friends.
Hey, Benjamin, you know what? I have real friends. I had them then and I have them now. So
I've never seen them, Dan.
They exist, okay? They exist.
Oh shit, did I just get raided? Hey,
Yeah, you
Tennessee
did.
Soul, what's up, baby? Hello.
What a time while I'm bullying my little brother.
This is the perfect time to be raided. Welcome, raiders. I hope
Hi, Raiders.
hope you're ready to be spooked. We're in the middle of a spooky story. But the long story short, TikToker, where we're at right now, TikToker is exploring a farmhouse. It's this dude's grandparents, and he's like, "Oh no, don't do it." Titanium, real quick, how was your stream? How are you doing? How are you living? What were you playing? I am a nosy person. We're always here for this. Exactly, we're always here for the spooky times. We love to
Heck
see
yeah.
it. We love to see it. I hope
Spooky
you had a.
times are a vibe.
This is absolutely like my whole thing is that's a vibe I have. I'm about it. Oh, well, I do appreciate you popping. Stream was awesome. Finally finished my job. Celebration Gris. Oh yeah, Gris. That was the one you were playing the other day too, which looks
Hold on,
beautiful, stunning.
what's Gris?
So it's this really beautiful game where you're like hopping around, and it's supposed to be like going through like grief, but it's really
Oh,
pretty. Personal
that's
best
neat.
time. Very nice. Yeah, you were doing the speed run again? Excellent. I'm so glad that you got a personal best, that you had a good day, you had a good stream. and I'm very happy that you brought everybody here. That was very sweet of you. Um,
Heck yeah.
I hope you stick around. Hope everybody has a good time. We're gonna continue our little spooky stories. But Titanium,
Mhm.
please, take a break, get some drink, eat a snack, take care of you, and I promise I won't scare everybody too bad. Just kidding. I'm absolutely gonna scare them. It's been going great. Yeah, we've just been you guys rated literally as Blastub was bullying his brother. So
Yeah. You just finished wrapping. You just finished wrapping one of the stories, and we were talking about imaginary friends. And as I know, my brother only has imaginary friends.
oh
No,
well, I
And
mean this is I'm
honestly, I never
not to
had.
pull a blast up, but there is a page too. There is more. But I
oh,
just wanted to like
oh,
I just wanted to side because the imaginary friend thing. Like the whole idea is that like little kids can perceive like the metaphysical stuff. They can perceive those things.
And animals.
And animals can too. Because animals are cool. Um
Mhm.
and also little kids are just creepy. But also it's because
Oh, I think my
they
car's
haven't
running.
had someone like teach them like, oh, that's not a thing, and like limiting their like mental capacity or their cognitive capacity to perceive these things. It's wild.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
love that kind of setting. Yeah, we're having a good time. We're having a great time.
I'm gonna be
It's
honest. I've never had imaginary friends. When I was younger.
Which is weird because your imagination is so large.
I know, right?
Like, hmm.
but
I
would
think
you
I would put
remember it?
all
Because
my.
little kids don't remember a lot either.
I would.
Like,
I remember a lot. Like almost my entire childhood. I think I just put all my imagination into playing with my toys and like made stories with those toys.
dude, I used to do the same thing. Like, I would have like full on like telenovela situations. Be like,
I would
bet,
just.
got
Telenovela.
everything.
I would mostly have like a bunch of people fight, like two stuffed animals fighting each other, like they're in an anime, smashing into
Oh my
buildings,
god.
It's like,
destroying
and the
cities.
gladiators have
When we
entered
sh-
the ring, and it's literally
when
two
we
beanie
shared a
babies.
bedroom, when we shared a bedroom, it was such a pain. Because
I
you'd be like in the top bunk doing that, and I'm like, damn, go to sleep.
when I stopped, like it's also not fun living with you because when I had to get down from the top bunk, you're always just sleeping on the edge, and I can't. And if I move like the tiniest bit, you notice it, and you're like, Daniel, be quiet, and start kicking the bottom of the bunk
You
bed.
stepped
That is
on my leg. Okay,
this is big moods because I actually used to
hold up.
share a room with one of my siblings, and for a
I'm
while we
the
did the bunk bed thing, and I would hate
I'm
when
the
she'd come
only sibling who
downstairs.
shared a room with everyone.
Hmm?
I've shared a room with almost everyone in the house.
Did they like switch you off because you kept stepping on their legs, or did it just
No,
happen out to be that way?
first it was with my sister, then it was with my brother. Oh wait, my
Hi.
sister and my dad. Then it was just me and my sister. Then it was just me alone once Benjamin moved to college. Then he unfortunately came back,
Bitch.
What the fuck?
and then he moved into my room, and then he built his own room and once again left, leaving me with peace.
So who? Oh wait. So I was about to ask who has the top bunk now, but it sounds like we've passed that moment.
Yeah, we passed the bunk stage.
Yeah,
Thankfully.
but I always had the top bunk.
Dan is asserting on the internet right
Yep.
now. He is
He's the
top
top.
bunk. Stop! Stop!
I am the alpha.
So you said there's a there's a second page,
Yeah,
right?
there's more. uh, uh, More than that, it was imperative at no point did I turn and look back up at the landing. Bad things would happen if I had looked. As a child, I couldn't really express these feelings, but now as I remember it, it felt like a creeping black mass seeping out of the walls of that back landing, coalescing, and all it would take to give it corporeal form would to be terrified to look back from a fleeing child. Then I would heave open the wooden door, and it felt like all of the color would suddenly seep back into the world, the warmth and the noise of a busy family home flooding my senses. Like pressing play, and the film restarts where it left off. In the live camera feed, on the TikTok that he's watching. They approach that solid oak door. It's hanging on one hinge, slightly ajar, swaying almost imperceptibly. I notice before the cameraman says out loud there's a large cast iron horseshoe, big enough for the Shire horse or a Clydesdale, nailed above the threshold. I didn't remember, but it suddenly felt very important, like a talisman thrown up in a last ditch effort to stop something. I gripped my phone harder with a clammy hand, positive that they should not go deeper into the bowels of this house. I look at the comments flashing up. It's so creepy. Seriously bad vibes. Did anyone else just see a shadow? With a shaky hand, I start typing a comment, telling them not to go in there, to just leave. As if they were as if they will listen to me, just another voice in the thrall. In my peripheral vision, as I'm typing, I can see the guy push open the door, which gives way with a creak, and as I'm about to press send, I hear his sharp intake of breath. What the? I hear him whisper. I drop my phone onto the bed in shock. Standing side by side in the passageway are two gaunt figures dressed in nightgowns. They were preternaturally wide grins, which stretched their papery gray skin taut. Where their eyes belonged, there were only dark pits, what could be boreholes straight into the inky depths of hell itself. Somehow worse than that, Granny and Grandpa were holding hands. It was unmistakably then, despite their demonic manifestation. Though it's only a second, it feels like I stare into those twisted faces for half an eternity. All hell breaks loose on camera. Abandoned Explorer 305 turns on his heel and runs back the way he came. The camera work falls into disarray as he bolts for the exit. But I swear, in that fraction of a second, as his phone whips around, the creepily wide grins on their faces twist into a grisly snarl. I am transfixed by my phone screen, listening to the TikTok guy's heavy breathing and watching the torch flit around on screen, lighting up walls and floors at random as he makes a break for it. He's close to the back door as long as he doesn't turn the wrong way. 5 or 6 more paces and he'll be out. Then, shockingly loud on the little phone speakers, is an ungodly screech which makes me jump about a foot off my bed. Live has ended. My feed is just gone. I tap the screen futilely. Nothing. Did he make it out? I search for his handle on the app and nothing comes up. I sit for a long time just staring into space, heart thumping. I should have commented sooner. As soon as I realized they were in that house, maybe that would have stopped them from going any further. A notification pops up on my phone, a direct message on TikTok. Strangely, there's no account name with the message. Come to us. Very direct, no ambiguity there. I sigh and reach for a notebook from my bedside table to cross the latest attempt off the list. Communication with the undead via internet is a new development. An extra deep grave didn't do the trick. Rocks in their mouths, black salt, holy water from lords, a stake through the heart. Nothing keeps these two restless souls in their grave for long. We don't know if it's the land itself, curse upon the family, or something else. Did they see that black thing I was so afraid of as a kid? Was that the reason or a symptom? I glanced down the list at the things yet to try. Next up was decapitation of the corpses. I don't relish the thought of that one, but I fire off a quick text to my brother. Trouble at the mill. That's the code. The code for get your shovel. We're off to dig up old Granny and Grandpa again to see if we can finally get them to rest in peace like you're supposed to. The problem is, each time we try to end this and fail, every time they come back, they are more changed than before. The last time they climbed out of the grave, they looked like themselves, only dead. Upsetting, but to be expected. The nightmarish figures I had seen tonight were a world away from that. I worry that we're giving them power, feeding them somehow. But we can't just let them roam around free, especially when other people get caught in the crossfire. I think this is going to require some outside help. And that's how the story ends. This was
Wow.
posted 7 months ago on No Sleep by the user feathers underscore and underscore fire.
That
And I
is
really
really
enjoyed reading
creepy.
this. I thought it was just super cute. I loved it. They were holding
It's
hands.
cute is not the word I would use for it, but it was really well told. I feel like creeped the shit out of me.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
And now
Holy crap.
I feel really self-conscious about the stories I'm about to tell because they're nowhere near that level.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. I went on the internet to find. I'm telling you right now, if you're on the Reddit, I feel like an old ass person when I say shit like that. I'm gonna do it. If you're on Reddit and you're like, damn, I could use a spooky ass story, but I don't want to actually do a lot of
Mm-hmm.
research. Uh, No Sleep is a good subreddit. Ghost stories, like those two subreddits, are phenomenal for this type of thing.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
next time I'm gonna go to Reddit
Not
and
to
Yeah.
start.
not to tell you how to live your life, but
Well, I did also tell Dan like Canadian stories. Like
no, and I
we gotta
love
rep the Canadas here.
you
Like
gotta rep the leaf. I hear you. I do.
gotta love the good old maple leaf.
That's right. I mean, it's not as good as Vermont maple. I know you didn't see you said maple leaf because that's on the flag, but Canadian maple syrup is subpart of Vermont maple syrup, and that
Excuse me?
I will fight you right now. It is a real
Oh,
thing.
I
I love
cannot.
you
You know
very
what?
much, but like no,
Do you?
it's real. I do.
Imagine,
I listen. I
imagine,
value both of you very much, and
So then,
they're
Daniel.
listen, Imagine, it's true. I tried Vermont syrup
see
once.
see Dan gets it. You
Mhm.
just need to what you gotta do is you gotta go to Sugar House. You gotta get sugar on snow. Get you a little donut and a pickle. Boom. Your life will be changed forever. Trust me. Just trust me. Just do it. Just do it. Just do
I
it.
was way too immature to hear that comment. Okay.
Titanium. I'm a neutral party. I should be sent both syrups to test them.
um.
I see
Oh my
that. It's good.
goodness.
That was just really
So
creepy. I like that story though. But it's really creepy.
it was really creepy.
Yeah, my favorite part was the part where like the streamers went down and like they saw the two like grins. I don't know why, but I love creepy things that are smiling. Like it's my favorite kind of scary stuff.
No, yeah, like
Is that why you think you look good?
God damn, we've made it like 5 minutes. Y'all are ridiculous. Like we should really have a live counter between like how long will it take before one of them shots fired.
You know what, Benjamin?
I
I have been
love you.
trying this whole time. Uh, yeah, but no. Seriously, if you give me like like a creepy creature that isn't like smiling, I won't be as scared of it, or as impressed with it if it's not smiling. Smiling gives it like
You like
that.
to see the creepy things that are happy.
Yeah, cause it feels like unnatural. They shouldn't be happy, but they are. They're happy that they're
They're living
trying to
their
kill
best
you.
creepy life, man.
Exactly.
I hear it. I'm here for it. If they're smiling in this economy, then they are dangerous.
Yeah, really.
Facts. That is real.
All right. I've got a story
Hold
that
up, it's
I'm
my
actually
turn.
really excited about. No, Dan, I'm skipping you here for you go after me because this one's really exciting. I really want to get this one in.
Alright, fine.
So the only reason I'm so excited about this is this like town, it's St. Thomas, Ontario. And for context, I actually started my Twitch channel in St. Thomas. When this is actually the town that I went to college in. So Dan was talking about like me going away. This is the town I went away to. And I actually got to see the building like that this story is about.
Okay.
So buckle your seatbelts.
Step on the gas. Let's do it.
Vroom vroom.
But a highway to hell.
No,
As
you
more
said Ontario.
same thing.
I didn't say it. You all
Anyways,
can remember I didn't say it.
Dougie Ford ain't doing a great job. Anyways, as mortified onlookers watched in horror and recorded the events on their mobile phones, the towering and iconic steeple of Alma College collapsed a little after noon on May 28th, 2008. Grand Gothic building had been engulfed in a raging inferno. The fire started by two teenage boys. That's it. Fortunately, no
Oh,
one was harmed. That was it for that sentence, sorry.
oh.
Fortunately, no one was harmed in the fire as the college had sat vacant since it closed in 1988. But one has to wonder what became of the tormented souls that haunted the building after the blaze reduced it to cinders and ash. The most well known ghost of Alma College haunted its halls for nearly a century. It was an all girls private school built in 1878 that focused its studies on literature, art, and music, with a student body that included young women from around the globe. Elisa Lyman, a student from 1983 to 1986, lived nearby and therefore didn't sleep in the dormitory like many of her classmates. She recalls with unease the times when winter weather made it too dangerous to drive home after class, forcing her to spend the night. They were often restless. Those nights spent in the dorm, as her sleep was plagued by the bizarre sounds that filled the school. The only explanation Alyssa could think for the midnight noises that were caused by the wanderings of Angela wait, bleh, was that they were caused by the wanderings of Angela, the spirit the girls dub the ghost of Alma in hushed tones. The details surrounding Angela are a little hazy and stories vary, but a retired teacher confirmed that the faculty and staff reported seeing her ghost in the castle like building as early as the 1930s. Most people believe that Angela was a music teacher, although some assert that she was a house mother, someone assigned to ensure the young girls behaved appropriately and patrolled the halls after curfew. Regardless of Angela's position within the Alma College, everyone agrees she was a mean woman who was nasty towards the students, making her disliked by all. Legend has it a group of teen girls decided to play a prank on Angela, hoping to give her a taste of her own medicine. They locked her in a cupboard and left her there overnight. But it's
That's
unlikely
really mean. What the hell?
Hey, you remember what the doctor said? What do we do with things we don't like? We put them in the cupboard.
That's not.
What?
It's the
What was
Doctor
it?
Who.
I haven't watched all of
He
Doctor
put
Who.
Hitler in he put Hitler in the cupboard. Anyways,
I know. I remember. I, I throw. Oh my
sup,
goodness.
Thrall? Um, they locked her in a cupboard and left her there overnight. But it's unlikely they intended for their joke to have such dire consequences. The cupboard was too small and sealed airtight, and Angela soon ran out of air. Her suffocated body was found the next morning.
Ew.
Shortly thereafter, her ghost was seen in what was nicknamed the Ivory Tower, one of the two stairwells leading to a storage room on the second floor at the south end of the building. Some have reported that if you stay alone in the Ivory Tower long enough, you'll see her descending the stairs, and others not brave enough to attempt the feat have heard her footsteps walk past. It's a telling sign that the Ivory Tower's walls were unmarked while the second tower's walls were covered with the signatures of generations of schoolgirls. Apparently, no one wanted to deface the stairwell where Angela dwelt. Many years after Alma College closed and began to fall into disrepair, a team of ghost hunters snuck onto the grounds and crept through the dust covered halls. They slowly climbed the creaking stairs to the very top of the Ivory Tower. Here, one of the braver people in the group knocked on the wall. It was answered by the hollow sound of another knock. Is this Angela? The ghost hunter asked. Yes, said a very low whisper. As this was the very type of experience the group had hoped for, they didn't turn and run. They also noted that despite Angela's reputation for having gone through life as a mean spirited woman, her ghost didn't give them a bad vibe. Perhaps she has remained on this plane to atone for her sins and to make up for the way she had mistreated her young students. Perhaps she's a new woman, so to speak. The peaceful feeling the group got from Angela, however, did not extend to the rest of the college. They constantly felt unwanted and surrounded by a dark, evil energy that they attributed to many ghosts, some old but most young. At first, the spirits seemed merely curious about the intruders. On the main staircase, voices called out, "Who are you? Why are you here?" In the library, the leader's hand was innocently grabbed by a small child, but the longer they remained, the more active and upset the spirits became.
Is Ben's audio broken for anyone else? I haven't heard him for a while.
You haven't? Oh, can you guys hear me?
Like they're saying it in the chat.
Yeah, I see Ink said that. Can you guys hear me okay, or?
I can hear you. But let me check
Hmm.
something.
Innocent says they can. Check 1, 2. Is my audio borked, maybe? Is it clipping?
I don't know.
Dan.
Let's see if we can fix it. Let's see if we can fix it. Let's see if we can fix it. Let me try something. Say something really funny. Let me see if I can get it to come through. Say something really funny.
Dan sucks.
I knew you were going there. I knew it.
It's low-hanging fruit, Dan.
That is low hanging fruit. Come on. Let me see. Ink,
You
is
are
that
also
any better?
Hi. Can you hear
Hello?
me?
I can hear you, but I don't know if it's coming through. Test, test. Can you hear him?
Check,
Edward,
check,
keep
check.
talking.
Hey, hi, my name is Benjamin Morales, and this is a new story from a place where I came from. Blazes. Yo. What's up?
Yeah, your audio's
Benjamin,
fine.
you're old.
Yeah, okay. All
Your
right.
audio's good.
All right. Who are you? And why are you here?
Angela, you gotta stop
In the
smoking, girl.
library, in the library, the leader's hand was innocently grabbed by a small child. But the longer they remained, the more active and upset the spirits became.
Wait, so hold
In
up.
the
Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up.
mm-hmm.
Angela was a college student. Why is there
Angela was a
creepy?
Angela was a den mother, apparently, or not a den mother, a house mother.
Okay, so she was an actual adult
Yeah.
person, not a small child. Why is
Nope.
there a small child there?
No idea. Apparently, there's
No.
more spirits.
Mm-mm.
In the
No, thank you.
basement, they witnessed objects being moved on their own and heard a voice warn them to leave now. Unheeding the advice, the ghost hunters traveled up to the old dorm rooms where, if the story is to be believed, the girls who murdered Angela would have spent their nights. The visitors described the area as a hotspot for dark entities, all unidentifiable as teenage girls. The group used a digital recorder that, when played back, revealed so many voices overlapping each other that much of what was said couldn't be understood. But the words that cut through all of the ruckus were foul, abusive, and threatening. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but so would a hard shove at the top of the stairs. And the dead girls repeatedly tried to trip and push the living intruders in this part of the building. Today, the grounds where Alma College once stood with pride are empty, except for shattered bricks and burnt wood. Although you'll never be able to climb the ivory tower and ask Angela if she's still there, or brave the dangerously haunted dormitory. It's said that the ghosts of Alma College still lingered amidst the rubble of the grandiose building. In this light, the college's motto is fitting. Though we are far from thee, still we long for thee, ever loyal still. And that's it.
Hey, just to make sure.
So,
This
okay.
is the last page. Can confirm.
All right. That's
So yeah, this was actually really close to where I was staying in St. Thomas.
And you said you went to that building?
I didn't actually go. We could go. I have to bring a bunch of stuff over to Frosty, who does live there now. Uh, shit. Is that a dox? Fuck.
No,
Oops.
there's a town. It's a town.
Yeah. Anyways, I gotta bring a bunch of stuff over to him. Um, I've got some stuff from Toronto as well. But Dan, if you have more. Uh,
Uh,
anyways, it's a really
Thank you for that, Kate.
really like open space outside of it, and then you just see the ruins. It's kind of cool.
So, okay. So my brain immediately is like, all right, Angela hanging out after that awful thing. Like, yeah, it sounds like she was not nice, but also that was
She
there's
was
just
murdered.
she was straight up murdered.
Yeah.
exactly. Like, there could have been easier, better ways to do it.
Yeah, like trip her down the
Dan.
stairs. The other ghosts got it. They were like, absolutely,
Yeah.
this is how we could do it. Instead, they were like, nah, we're gonna put you in an airtight container and see you in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So the other
Well,
ghosts that are up there are those the girls like that did
I
it,
don't know.
or was Angela like, oh, so y'all gonna still be here and not own up to murdering me? Bet. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some ghoulish homegirls, and we gonna make it happen for you today.
She
You
just
I
went
know,
to the
honestly have no
afterlife
idea.
lounge, and then like went to the afterlife lounge,
Yeah.
got a bunch of schoolgirls, and like, yo, what up? Come with me.
like you
Oh
can't
God.
ask me. You can never can't talk about this to anyone else. You can't ask me any follow up questions. I need you guys to come with me and scare the shit out of these girls for the next 2 years. And they were like, cool. Which car are we taking?
Which horse? I don't think the cars
Oh,
existed
that's
back
true,
then.
because it was 1800s. Whose horse are we taking? Whose
Dan's.
carriage are we
We'll take
taking?
Dan's. Dan's as well.
That's Sean Beatty mode. Love it. Oh, so yeah, I'd actually heard of that college. I'd never been to it to like scope it out, and I knew that there
No?
was a ghost situation there, but I didn't know like it was like that though.
Are you
Mhm.
allowed to be inside the building, or is it like off
The
limits?
building fell down.
I don't actually know. It's definitely like not. It's probably not safe to go. I imagine there's still plenty of people who do.
There's always the one. You
There's
know it.
always one, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
about that,
Herb,
buddy.
I know what we're gonna do today.
We're going on a trip. We're going on a trip.
Dan, it is snowing, and I don't have my snows on. We're not going on a trip.
I'm sorry, did Snow stop insert person's name here from doing what they wanted to do?
Exactly.
Probably.
I mean, how much snow is it?
Not that much.
It's snowing a lot. Like
I
right
could-
now, the problem is it's all freezing over, and it's like
So it's
blizzarding.
compacting and like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like the first proper snowfall, basically.
Don't worry, guys. I mean, the ghost is probably still chilling. She's not
Exactly,
going
very true.
anywhere. She'll be there when you guys are
Exactly.
ready to make the trek, the journey. Mafa, hello.
Mafa, hello.
Was that
Insert
Cecilia
person
name?
would never be defeated by a mere obstacle. Exactly. So yeah, Mafa actually is Mafa and Bones were the one who did the theme from beginning of this, and it'll happen at the end too because I
I
love it so much.
see. Well done. Well done.
Nice.
Damn.
It's a bop. We all agreed.
I actually haven't heard it. I didn't open the stream at that time.
Don't worry, you'll hear it at the end too because it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, poor
Nice.
Angela, but also like, because even if she was
Well-
super mean, that doesn't mean you get to murder. That's illegal.
Well, here's the
Maybe
thing.
she wasn't mean.
The
Maybe she
original
was just
thing-
strict.
The original thing was the girls didn't intend to murder her. They didn't intend to murder her. They just wanted to punish her. But because they didn't realize that the thing was airtight, like these girls probably weren't smart. So they didn't realize that it was so small and airtight that she would run out of air quickly. because
lot
it
by the
wasn't
school.
the primary thing on their mind. But when they found the body,
Oof. Suffocation's a bad way to go.
mm-hmm.
Letting the air slowly seep out of you as you gasp for it. You feel your lungs.
Okay, Dan.
You fall on the ground, gasping and coughing. Your eyes start to water. You realize that you're losing consciousness. You feel the pain, and then you slowly start to slip to sleep.
Dan in the Dan in the van, everyone. That
Dan
was
in the
Dan in the van.
what the fuck, Dan?
That was unnecessarily, but also
That was descriptive.
that was incredibly descriptive.
That was so descriptive, Dan. What the fuck?
You okay, man? You want to talk about it?
I'm fine. It's just
Oh my
something I
God.
do every weekend.
Sir?
What the fuck? What?
Oh no.
Oh man. Okay. Woo. All right. All right. Well, since you told that was a good one, but I know Dan had another one as well. That Dan
Time
was.
for my.
Yeah.
All right, now Now this one is called Vancouver's Headless Brakeman. Hub Clark was a railway brakeman. On a particular cold and rainy night, Hub was assigned to inspect the rails on Granville Street Rail Yard in downtown Vancouver. British assigned to inspect the rails. Oh wait, I read that part. Dressed in traditional black and white striped overalls, Hub walked along the wet, slippery gravel beside the tracks, carrying a lantern to light his way. All was well until the poor man lost his footing and fell. Tragically, he hit his head on the track and knocked himself out. Moments later, a passenger train came barreling down the track and ran over poor Hub, decapitating him instantly. Since then, there have been sightings of a strange light swaying back and forth on a cold, rainy night, as if someone is holding a lantern while walking along those tracks. A few brave and curious folk have dared to linger, watching the strange glow as it approaches. Their patience and courage has been rewarded by the fleeting glimpse of a headless man wearing black and white striped.
So
Perhaps
like,
poor Hub is looking.
is he like? I'm sorry. So do you think it's because he walked the beat so long that he's like, I know exactly where I'm going, or like, do you think he ever like accidentally walks in a different place and he's like, I'm totally walking next to the train tracks, but he has no way to tell because he doesn't have a head?
I think he's walking there to like maybe he's looking for his head, or maybe he's like walking there to warn other people to do like to be careful around the area. Like there's some ghosts that like haunt certain areas to warn people about like dangers in the
Yeah.
area.
Maybe it's one of those.
Or maybe it's just maybe his soul is now stuck in that tormented routine of like living out his last moments.
So he's essentially the ghost Smokey the Bear of the railway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only you can prevent um an oopsie doodle that results in head loss.
Ah.
Huh.
Someone make shirts. Um. So okay, so you were. I'm sorry, I cut you off because I was like, I wonder if this is a thing. But okay, that answers that.
All right, now here and perhaps poor Hub is looking for his head, or doing his job into eternity, warning people away from the treacherous red gravel near the tracks. That's it. Now your question basically set the last part of the story.
Damn, nailed it. They say on a cold, dark night, you can still hear the whisper in the wind. Careful now, stand behind the yellow line.
Oh my God.
God damn it, bro. Oh, could you imagine the OT though? The overtime pay.
That would
Oh
be
yeah.
great.
No way to cash the checks though.
I
Mm.
mean, there's nothing stopping him except being shunned by society. But other than that, there's nothing stopping him
Yeah,
from
I mean, like, no, I
cashing in
guess
those
so. I
checks.
mean, yeah. There's just I feel like there are a lot of steps. You'd have to get like you have to get an ID for the bank to work with you, unless like you had already like scared a banker into just understanding that you was a ghost.
Maybe, or you could possess someone to like get those checks for you.
Like,
Oh,
hey, ooh,
true.
ooh, that's a good. Damn, that is a good
And then
thought.
like what? And then once you and like you can put them like in a refrigerator to keep them nice and cool. So then they like
Just
and
a
then like the
hard
ghost.
veer, Dan. My goodness.
What the
It was
heck?
good. Like it was all like, okay, I'm believing this. And you're like, yeah, and then you can imprison them, but keep them on ice so you could like,
So they could keep on coming back to them when they need to like get more money or cash in checks for their job that they're doing.
you know what the
And like yeah, they could just keep on doing that for eternity with the same person trapped in the ice.
What the hell, Dan?
Whatever. I do this every
Dan, you're
weekend.
fantastic. Never change. Oh my goodness.
Unless you're doing something illegal right now, in which
In
case,
which
change, please.
case, change. Oh my goodness.
They're on to us. Abort, abort.
Cheese it. Wow. I love that though. That's actually very sweet that he's
Hmm.
still
Mm-hmm.
trying to help out. You
Yeah.
know, just people, ghosts helping
They're
ghosts.
basically an overcomplicated sign.
That's true. That's
Dan.
true. That absolutely could have been a sign. It could have been an email. Think everybody who's ever had a meeting that could have been an email. Totally gets that. Totally feels that vibe. They're like, yep, that tracks. Oh my
No
goodness.
comment.
I
he's like
mean,
walk. He's walking along the tracks, like pointing at his head and then pointing at the rails, and they're like, "We get it."
he's just trying his hardest. Oof.
All right, who's next?
I've got one I'm pulling up now. This one's not from No Sleep. It's from uh some prep work. It's called The Shadow of the Valley. I was miles deep into the middle of a desert, driving a dune buggy with friends, and we stopped to check an abandoned mine that my buddy had explored in before. My buddy stayed behind while the girls and I went inside to look around. About 100 yards into the mine, a man's voice calls out, "Help me, please!" along with a strange whimpering noises. We all froze and stared at each other wide eyed for a few seconds before the voice called out again and the girls took off running for the exit. I wanted to run too, but something was telling me that it was my buddy playing a prank on us. I didn't want to fall for it. Convinced he was calling down from some sort of hole above, I called back and followed the voice, hoping to triumph over his little joke. Instead, I found an old man and his injured dog trapped down in a 34 drop and I saved both their lives. Oh wow, that took a completely different turn. I thought
Holy
this
crap, yeah.
What
like
the heck?
this was supposed to be spooky, but it was uplifting. Okay,
Hold
cool.
up, maybe it'll get spooky.
No, I think that was the end of it. So like,
Wait,
Oh,
really?
yeah, like
That's not. No
I
offense, that's not a horror. That's just a cool
yeah, I don't know
story.
why that's still here. That's I mean, I was full on expecting it to be a ghost. Instead, it
same.
was like, and yeah, this one time, my buddy, I thought he was playing a prank, but it turns out, I was just being a hero. Like,
Like,
no biggie.
that feels. What the heck?
That I feel like that was robbery, so I think I get another one. Stand
Yeah,
by.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I was robbed. That wasn't spooky. Here, I think I found another one. Yes. Sally the Ghost. To preface, I live at the main party house, and people who lived there and the people who lived there years prior have said it's haunted. It was a running joke in my frat that the house was haunted, but the kids who lived in the house were always dead serious when they said this, saying that they could hear noises all the time and stuff like that. I mean, if they were dead serious about it, how is it a joke? Maybe I don't understand
Mm.
nuance. Maybe I personally just don't understand nuance of joke. Um, my friend would even say that he knew where the ghost lived in his room in a crawl space that he had always kept shut. They even had a name for the ghost, which I forget exactly, but it was something like Sally the Ghost. A few years ago, while we were still at school, we had first we had frat meetings every Sunday to talk about important things, but at the end, we would share any cool stories from the weekend. The same friend raises his hand and starts telling his story. He said he was at the only bar in our college town that everyone goes to. We were actually all there. This bar always hosted the same people, so most people would know each other to an extent. He says it was later on in the night when most of us had left that he met this really pale girl with silver blonde hair. He says that she was alone, which was weird because most people would go with a group of friends or go alone and meet up with a group of friends. He says they hit it off, but then he said that something was off about her. For starters, she was alone, he didn't recognize her, and she wouldn't tell him her name. He said that he tried asking a few times, but she would bring something random up as soon as he would get around to it. They ended up going back to his house to hook up. This is where things get freaky. He says that doesn't remember doing anything with her at all, but he remembers waking up the next morning alone, and he felt very scared because his door was still locked and could only be locked from the inside. He had not opened it because the ghost lived there, and it was drafty during the winter time. He woke up, the mystery girl was gone, his door was still locked. How did she leave? It turns out that the crawl space door was open. He ends his story with, guys, I think I slept with Sally the ghost last night. That also wasn't very creepy, but it was actually kind of cute. It was really
Kind of
cute.
like a
What the heck?
Yeah,
kind of like a
so
funny ghost story.
yeah. These ones are funny.
It's like, guys, I accidentally slept with a ghost. I'm sorry.
He doesn't remember doing anything with her though.
I mean, it's a ghost. Probably didn't feel anything. That's why.
Dan.
I'll be
Dan.
quiet.
Dan.
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 I'll be quiet.
Dan.
Dan.
You're
What the fuck?
you're phenomenal, but also
Quiet now.
it's okay. No, we're not gonna stifle you. You're doing great. You're
I
doing a
will.
good job. You're doing a good job. Ben will. But yeah, so I think I have to go through because I think I read most of the spooky ones off this one already. That might be why I have all the cheerful ones left.
Maybe.
I'll have to revisit this document at a later time. Uh, that's all I really have, but I don't know if you guys said you did some research, and I want to make sure if you want to each get one more in, we could totally do that, or if you want to keep going, I can find some stuff on the fly. We can make this happen. Make your
So
spooky dreams
I
a
definitely
reality.
have I definitely have a couple more. I've got one from Toronto. I've got another one from somewhere else in Ontario.
Yes.
Gotta refind it. Dan, do you have another one?
I have 3 more.
And
True.
this guy did his research. He was hitting the
Well,
books, extensive internet searches. We love it.
like I said before, I told him to get 5 and have them ready, and I told him like 2 months ago.
Listen, Dan brings results. He
He
is
does.
the
He
he is
really
the Dan
does.
in the van.
He is the Dan in the van. Yeah.
Weird
So I
thing I
can go.
got.
Dan, do you want to go?
Sure. I got one. Although, which one to choose?
The first one.
Alright. The Great Lakes are beautiful, but at times the waters can be perilous. There are many stories of shipwrecks and ghost ships. On our own Lake Ontario has many such ghostly vessels that are said to foreshadow bad luck for those who see their phantom sails. During the War of 1812, an American fleet was stationed just across the lake, while the British fleet was just north of them. The winds died down on the lake, and both sides had to wait overnight before being able to get underway. Early the next day, as both fleets lay calmly on the lake, a violent squall took them by surprise. Tragically, the Scrooge and another bleh, a Scrooge and another American schooner, the Hamilton, both capsized and sank, drowning over 50 sailors. A surviving
Oh my
sailor
god.
described that the men were trapped where they slept, and nothing could be done as the rain came pouring down and lightning lit up the sky. The tragedy was all but over in a matter of minutes. Many old sailors have since shared the tale that two ghost ships will emerge from the thick fog on cold, dark nights. Mariners say that they have seen men standing on the decks but not moving as the boats shudder and then disappear below the waves. Seeing them was always said to be a bad omen. In 1942, a crewman of a steamer called the Cayuga claimed to see these two ghost ships just before sunset. An old steward on board warned the men that something bad would happen, but few believed him. The next morning, the steward himself was found dead.
Oh damn. He was not lying.
He really was not.
It's
Holy
a shame
crap.
that he was the one that died and not the people who didn't believe him.
Well, then they wouldn't have believed him afterwards. Because
Well, they would have. They just would have been very dead.
they're
They would
like,
have been like,
damn, we should have listened.
they'd be like in the ghost. They'd be like, damn, you were right.
What is that one movie? You ever? It's the campy
Sure.
movie Stardust.
What?
I love it. There's a section where basically, I'm not gonna give it away, but like these brothers are vying for the throne, and they're basically just like they're knocking each other off, so that way they can get the throne. And when each of them dies, their ghosts hang out and just talk shit about
Sorry,
the ones
what?
that are alive,
They're whatting each other up? They're whatting each other off?
knocking each other like they're killing each other.
Oh, okay.
So that way
Well,
the
no.
one that's standing
Good,
can
where's
win.
your mind at?
It's really funny.
No comment.
Come on, Benjamin, you're better than that.
You're better than this.
Help.
It's okay. I believe in you. But also, I immediately thought of that. Like, if they had died, and they'd have been like, damn.
Yeah.
I hope those other dudes listen next time, because, like, oopsie doodle.
Benjamin, Ink's telling you to check your DMs.
I am checking them now. Okay. I have another story if we want to keep going.
Yeah. I'm happy to go for as long as you guys do.
Yeah.
As long as we can make sure at the end that we can segue into cool stuff that you guys are doing. I'm fine with however long you guys want to go. I know I'm out of material.
So I have a whole 2 books. Um
Save some of those books. Maybe for next time.
yeah. Yeah, we can save them for another time that I'm going to be on. Or another time that Hi.
Hi.
Give me a second.
The ghost got him.
Oh, well, it was only a matter of time.
Dan, aren't you right there? Can't you?
No, he's in the basement. I don't stay in the basement after I
Did
put
you
a
put
curse in
him?
there.
Did you put him in there?
No, he built his room down there.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, it is. But I had to help build the room.
So now you have excellent experience that you can
True.
use in the future for future. It's a mouse tool for later.
True. And now I have my own room to myself.
Yeah. So now there's not going to be any like confusing, bunk bed shenanigans. You won't be accused, wrongly of stepping on someone.
To be fair, I did step on him.
Dan, you're not supposed to admit it.
I didn't step on him. Bender's not here, is he?
I heard that. I heard that.
Mother hugger.
It's recorded. I have evidence.
Me just like, no, I'm
Oh
gonna
my
give you some fake
Stop!
news.
god.
Quick, stop the screen before you can clip it.
Too late. Oh, oh my goodness.
Okay, I've got a story to tell.
Okay.
Ooh. Anyways, let me just take a drink of water and I'll be good. I'll be good. I'll be fine.
This is fine.
All right, this one comes out of Ottawa, Ontario. The Bytown Museum couldn't have a more picturesque location in our nation's capital. Housed in the oldest stone building in Ottawa, the museum is on the lower locks of the Rideau Canal in fuck me. Let me restart. Housed in the oldest stone building in Ottawa, the museum is on the lower locks of Rideau Canal at the Ottawa River, nestled in the heart of downtown between Parliament Hill and the Chateau Laurier Hotel. By the but the Petite Museum's beauty and charm are in direct contrast with the truly terrifying experiences that visitors and employees have reported. In fact, it's considered by many paranormal experts to be the most haunted location in the entire country. Something lives in the museum's displays, skulking through the artifacts and taking possession of the antique dolls that sit
Oh,
in
no,
silent
no, no, no,
rows.
no, no, no. I was good up until you said the G word.
Watching everyone who wanders up to the second floor unawares.
Mm-mm.
The building was constructed in 1827 by the British military as a supply storehouse and treasury during the construction of the Rideau Canal. Hon. Death was always hanging over the building in those early years, as nearly 1,000 workers died in gruesome construction accidents and from diseases such as malaria. Dolls. Undeterred by the tragic deaths of so many workers, the military continued to work on the canal under the leadership of Lieutenant Colonel John by in order to defend against invasion from the United States. Although Lieutenant Colonel although Lieutenant Colonel died by 1836, some believe his ghost still lingers by the still waters of the Rideau Canal. Today, the Bytown Museum houses a permanent collection of artifacts celebrating Ottawa's history, and it's not uncommon for visitors to be overcome by an uneasy feeling while they're observing the displays. On the second floor is a collection of antique dolls that have caused some of the greatest unease. If it's very quiet and you're all alone, close your eyes and strain your ears. You might hear the faint sounds of a child crying.
No,
Open your eyes and you might even catch one of the dolls winking at you,
no.
as if you're in on some ghostly joke. Those who have heard the crying and seen the blinking eyes believe the spooky porcelain dolls are possessed by the spirits of the dead children. Other visitors have said that they have been pushed, grabbed, or tripped from behind when alone, typically in the creepy old money vault in the stairwell. Some museum goers have heard an angry, bodiless voice shout, "Get out! Get out!" But the majority of the paranormal reports come from the museum staff, and the most hair raising activity tends to occur after the public has left for the night. One employee noticed a man sitting in the library after she closed up. She asked him to leave, and he obliged without a word, silently walking to the door. A second after he stepped outside, she realized she hadn't seen the man enter the museum while they were open. An impossibility in such a small, intimate building. So she flung the door open to ask how he had gotten in, although it had only been a brief moment since the man had left and she could still see a far distance in every direction. The man had completely vanished. Glenn Shackleton, chairman of the board of directors, has no doubt the Bytown Museum is haunted, and he has a couple of chilling stories to back up his claim. One night, he and three others there only four people in the building. They closed the sliding door, and it immediately began to vibrate violently, as if someone on the other side was hitting it. A review of the security camera footage showed that no one was there, but as soon as the assault on the door ended, they heard heavy footsteps walking away. The late night encounter with an unseen presence was enough to send Glenn's 3 companions running from the museum. Glenn believes, as many others do, that the ghost who causes these disturbances is Duncan McNabb. Duncan was the supply manager during the construction of the Rideau Canal, but Glenn also thinks there might be at least one other prominent voice within the walls of the museum, someone who had a much larger role in the canal's construction. Another night, he was having a casual chat with a museum employee about the ghost of McNabb when the woman's computer inexplainably turned off. A moment later, it turned itself back on, but her normal desktop didn't appear. Instead, the monitor was blank, other than the words "Lieutenant Colonel John, bye," repeated over and over on the screen. It was as if the colonel himself was listening into the conversation and wanted to make it clear that McNabb's ghost isn't the only spirit haunting the Bytown Museum, nor does it seem that either man was ready to leave his work behind.
Oh my god.
That's the story.
There's so
My.
many things.
Canada, eh?
Canada.
Canada, eh?
Oh, Canada.
It's
Ghost taught himself how to use a computer, right? This is. You should also. I did hydrate. Thank you, Dan. This is, this is good for everyone to know that you never have to stop learning. You should always push yourself to learn new things. I mean, look at the Colonel. He was able to learn how to use a computer.
Another
Post-mortem.
lesson is you're never too old either.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Learning is fun. Also, I hate that there were dolls. Just so we're clear.
Yeah, I don't like dolls
I
either.
don't like
They're creepy.
dolls. I don't like dolls. You know that, Blastub. You know I don't like dolls.
Something about the lifelessness and stillness of them. And just shiny, baby-like features.
They're just really
So-
creepy.
okay.
Yeah.
I had an ex that loved porcelain dolls.
Oh.
Like, absolutely adored them. And there was one point where she was over, and my mother had known that she loved these porcelain dolls. So she actually had found, like, there was actually some at her old, like, school, at her school that she had brought in to give her. And I remember, like, we were just sitting on the couch down here in the basement, and I think we fell asleep or something. And we woke up, and these dolls are just staring at me. And I'm like, nope. I am putting these somewhere else. And, like, originally we were talking about, like living together and stuff. And she's like, oh, we gotta have the dolls up in our room. And I was like,
No.
absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Hell
That is,
no.
if there were no other red
No.
flags, that's enough.
That's
Enough.
That was bad. That was, oh my god.
I never heard this story.
You definitely saw the dolls, Dan.
I saw the dolls, but I don't remember that that you waking up and
For
being
fuck's
scared
sake,
of it, like a
Alpha.
baby.
God damn.
Hold up. Hun. Imagine your elderly relative still calling you for your computer help even after you've murdered them. Hold up.
Wait,
Hold up.
wait a
what?
minute. Huh?
Alright, you guys distract him, I'll call 911.
What? Is something
I-
happening?
Sorry, is there?
I don't
What?
know. Is he calling? You calling the police? Why?
No,
Did you
it's-
see?
I
did
said
you
a
see-
joke. You guys
Okay.
distract Mafa while I called the police because he just said he murdered his
Okay, I
grandparents.
see,
That
I
was the
see.
joke.
Okay, sorry. I was just my immediate was like, why you calling? Don't call them. Like, that's a bad idea.
Oh man,
me,
I'm out by the
aggressive.
way.
Oh,
like I'm not out of stories, but like I'm a little
You're tuckered. I get
I'm
that.
spent. Uh,
He's a tired he's a tired one. Well, unless Dan has another one, I'm happy to move to the part where we talk about cool stuff.
I have
Then
another one, but like we could move to the cool stuff because
okay.
these stories are very interesting.
He's a very tired one, and that way, we can just save it. Save it. Save all the rest. We can Bearded Trash Panda, thank you for biddies. You wonderful. How you doing? How you living? That's the real nightmare. Still being called for IT stuff. Okay. Well, we covered a lot of ground. We talked about a lot of spooky stuff in Canada. I read some not very spooky stories and also that one really creepy one from Reddit, which I really appreciated.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a banger, for sure. But let's shift gear. Let's shift focus a little bit, and
heck yeah.
talk about stuff you guys got going on, stuff you guys are
Yes.
wanting to talk. Like I told you to prepare plugs, like
Yep.
as
I brought
as
earplugs. Was I supposed
iconic.
to bring earplugs?
So instructions unclear. I get it. 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 Um,
Uh,
you've been
no,
here the whole
I did
time.
bring I did bring some ads here. Don't worry, I did do the thing. Yeah, so as you guys know, my name is Blastub or Ben if you will. If you want to find me or see some of my future events, I'm gonna be streaming tonight actually, twitch.tv/blastub at 8 o'clock. I'm gonna be launching my new Minecraft server. We've been doing a
Damn
thing.
it! I can't fucking shout out to save my life.
we
We all
we've
watched me do this.
uh
Sorry.
lovely ink has been on my butt to do the Minecraft server again. So we've got our new Minecraft server coming out now, and I'm really excited. We're going to be playing Enigmatic at 8. It's going to be my it's going to be my community and my lovely better half's community as well. That's the worst ink plug. um yeah, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic time. That is tonight at 8 o'clock EST. Uh, I'm going to be there, and Ink is going to be on the stream with me, and we're going to be causing some chaos. Well, she's going to be causing chaos on my stream. It's going to be a great time. I love her a lot. Um, Past that, we've got a bunch of stuff coming up for Christmas time, so be really excited for that. Dan and I will be back. We'll be telling stories again, like we did last year. We actually did a stream where Dan and I sat in this armchair and we read stories that were written for us by some of our friends. It was Christmas. They were Christmas stories. It was a lot of fun. Dan, do you remember that?
I remember that. I
Yeah,
remember I
that was
would.
a.
Oh no, you keep going.
No, go ahead.
No, okay. I remember that every time I was reading, I would take long pauses just to drink hot chocolate. It was
Oh
fun.
yeah. It was a good time. Like it was really fun. And that was actually when this bedroom was originally being constructed. Um yeah. Now it's
Oh,
fully
even
constructed.
worse.
We have lighting and stuff. So we'll be good this time around to do it. So yeah, definitely tune in for that. We're going to have a video of us making gingerbread houses from scratch. Or well, I don't know if I haven't really decided if it's going to be a video or a stream. We will see, but it's going to be fun no matter what. So stay tuned for that. So we've got to just to go over it again. Minecraft stream tonight. In
Yes.
December around Christmas time, we've got our Christmas stories. We have got our gingerbread house cooking from scratch thing. It's going to be a little bit of a competition as well, but you'll find out more when we get there.
Can you
And yeah, if you
please
want
structure it like Iron Chef?
to,
Can you have Ink put on some Alton Brown glasses and a bow tie and be like, chefs, you have a mouse tool you can give somebody to disadvantage them in their and like have it be
that
a
would
weird
be
thing. I need this to be a thing. Can it be a thing even if it's not for this? Can you eventually do it just so I can have that in my life?
I'm sure we can figure something out to do that. Yeah, that would be hilarious. Yeah, so there's lots of discussions happening behind the scenes
So that'd be
that
three
are
hours from
building
now,
up to
Martha.
this moment. Yes, 3 hours. That is 3 hours from now. It'll be a great time. Ink is going to be there, and she's going to be in VC with me. She's going to be entirely drunk, and it's going to be absolutely funny. Um, yeah, I think that's all I have. Dan, do you want to plug anything?
Stan,
Um,
Stan.
I don't have anything. Hi. Go
Well,
watch
Oh,
Benjamin.
Dan.
go watch. Go watch.
Yeah.
Also, Ink agreed that at some point she will absolutely uh do the Alton Brown bit. I'm very excited to see how this all pans out. Um, because I need it in my life. And that's all. That's yeah. I'm very pumped. We had a really good time. We covered a lot of stuff. I know you also do some charity
Yeah.
stuff around. I
Yeah,
know
so
we're doing the Jingle
right
Jam stuff.
now I'm definitely going to be doing Jingle Jam. I'm going to be
Same.
supporting a charity with that, but I also support a charity called Community Crew. Charity called Community Crew. They are an organization that funds lunches for kids who just come in to schools and stuff that maybe their parents can't provide them with lunches at the moment, or there's lots of neglect in their lives. It really depends on the situation. It depends on the school, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of different situations, and it honestly it's very close to my heart because of the student ministry that I do. So yeah, I support Community Crew. It's I don't have a link up for it yet or right now.
I
I will
did
have one
used to have the
eventually.
Tiltify that you did for your 24-hour one, but I
The
think that's
Tiltify the Tiltify is inactive now, yeah.
yeah. I was gonna say
So
it's inactive now.
stay tuned for Christmas when we'll be doing some more fundraising and a lot of other fun stuff for that.
Christmas.
Heck, it's gonna be a great time. Christmas is a great time. And yeah, Bunny, thank you so much for having us. It was a lot of fun. I
I
really appreciate you giving me the call, letting me bring Dan on as well.
yes
Because I don't think I
yes.
would be able to do this stuff without
I mean,
Yeah,
Dan was the
you would
Dan
be a
in the
lot.
van last time.
Dan. True.
Yeah, Benjamin, you would be a lot less interesting without me.
All
Damn.
right, Dan.
Oh
All
my
right, Dan.
goodness. Well, again, I think I'm gonna sleep like a baby bear tonight. Some of those were spooky, scary. Um, I'm not
Just
comfortable for
wholesome.
about the dolls. Not gonna lie to you. Not that to end on that was kind of. It's fine. I'll play a happy game. Do something fun. But yeah, I do appreciate you guys taking the time, hang out with us. This was really cool. Because you were the very first people on. Dan, I mean, you were there in spirit because you had given all of the stories.
Yeah.
But
In
this was
spirit.
great. I'm really happy.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So 8 p.m. tonight, you're doing the Minecraft launch. Ink
Heck yeah.
Ink will be her very
And
best.
she will be on her very best behavior.
Of course, of course. Ink is always on her best behavior. Surely,
Let's be honest. Ink will be the humor in that stream.
she absolutely will. Don't tell lies.
Yeah, so
Just
tune in tonight, 8 p.m. EST, twitch.tv/blastub. It'll be a great time.
absolutely. Um,
All right.
as we're kind of gearing out, um, I do also just want to plug the song before I start it and we start to like get everything set for the raid. But I really do appreciate Graveyard Studios who designed this dope theme that we're about to listen to as we're like going and ending. I don't think anyone redeemed the raid, so I'm gonna check. But I really do appreciate you guys all hanging out and being cool.
Thank you so much. It was a vibe. Heck yeah.
Thank you.
We are here for the good vibes. I love you all very much. While I'm checking to find somebody to raid, uh, please give that person whoever I'm raiding your love because I'm gonna do a really good research real quick. But I want to make sure we get
Heck yeah.
time to get the full song in because I love it. And it is.
Actually, let's see. I might have someone we can raid. Let's
Who you
see.
got? Who you got?
I'm pulling them up right now. I'm doing a thing.
doing a
doing a thing.
research. We're top
Uh
researchers here.
oh, Jamalki's really great. That's Jemalki. Jamalki.
Can you type that to me so I can copy
Yeah, I
paste?
can. Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll do that. Cool. All right. Well, I'll get that set up. Once this is a 5 minute song and I love it so fucking much, and I want to make sure we all
It's
get
a
to have
great
it.
song.
It's a freaking bop. I love you, internet. Hope you have a spooky Saturday. And yeah, just chill. You're gonna love it. We love you guys. You're great.
Uh,